All right, so I am actually in a different chair. I know that you don't really care, but I'm in a different chair because I moved the other chair in a different place, and so it's making me lower than normal. So I have to change things. And yeah, I know that you guys don't really care, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of the reason why I'm. Here we go. I'm not gonna let this defeat me, though. I'm not gonna let it defeat me like I did last time. So I'm gonna just try to keep it together. Noelle is getting some tacos at our favorite place. She took the kids, went to Stellicum, and so yeah, she's doing a live stream right now. It's actually the video called "Drive with Me, Stellicum," and I'm over here with my homebrew. Let me tell you, stuff is stout. Like and I'm not a lightweight. Like, I'm someone who can really handle my own. I can handle my own. I'm going to get to the topic, which is actually about Amazon and Seattle and the blunder that Seattle has done. But I'll get to that because I always talk about that. But let me tell you a little bit about my prior history. I knew a guy who was about 6'5", big old dude. He looked like a caveman. 6'5", 300 at least, 400 pounds. Big dude. And he weighed double my weight easily. And we would challenge each other because we were good friends. We were co-workers, and we would challenge each other. And he would tell me that he would do, I don't want to lie on him, I think he said he did 6 and 6. So 6 Jaegers and 6 Jack and Cokes, I think. I don't know if that's true or if he was BSing, but he could handle a lot. And back then, I was a lot more cut. You know, like, I'm not full of flub now, but like I was younger. We're talking probably, gosh, about 12 years ago. So I was younger, obviously. I was 30 years old at that time. He was probably about 35. And dude could knock him down, but I was keeping up with him. I used to drink a lot of Crown and Coke, so that was my thing. Crown and Coke. Well, it used to be Jack and Coke. First rum and Coke, then Jack and Coke, and then I progressed all the way to Crown and Coke because it was just more refined. It was really good. Now I like Gentleman Jack, and I still like Crown. And then recently, a friend from Georgia got me into Henny. And yeah, that wins, to be honest with you. That wins. But I used to can handle my own. I actually went to a club, and I was there so often they knew who I was. And the bartender would already, I wouldn't even have to say, give me another one. He would just keep giving them to me and wouldn't even charge me. Now, this was in Indianapolis. Indianapolis's nightclubs back in the day were the best I've ever been to. The best. Now, this was back in my Gallivanting days. Okay. But, I mean, they would give you a glass this big and literally fill it up with, like, whiskey up to here and give you this much Coke. I mean, obviously there's ice in there, but they would, like, fill it up. And just a hint of Coke. That was what it was like back in the day. I can handle my own. And I told my friend who's from Atlanta when he came down last year, I said, I can handle my own. Now, I'm not as good as I used to be. I'm not as young as I used to be. I can't do like that. But, yeah, we both, my friend who came here from Georgia, him and I both suffered and struggled. I came out worse. He came out worse earlier than I did. Later on, it was bad. But, yeah, so I'm saying that because I did a video saying this is probably a 6%er. I don't know. I still think it is. I think it's more to around 6.5. I think it's probably at about a 6.5. This is my second one. I had one, and this I poured it and it comes right about here. So I've only had 2 sips of this, and I can feel it. I can put it to you that way. I can feel it. So that's one of the reasons why I like homebrew. And also in the video before, you still can't see it, but I can see through there. I don't know if you can see my fingers. I doubt it. But it's very clear. And it is very strong. But anyway, that's enough of that. It's not what this video is about. It's actually about Amazon, right? Now, when New York was AOC, and this is not going to be a political video, and I don't care what your thoughts are about her. Mine are not all that great about her, but regardless, that's not what this video is about. And with all due respect, there's a lot of things that she's cool with, and I think she's an intelligent woman, but Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, I butchered that. I know I did. That's why I said AOC. But she was one of the people, amongst many, who didn't want Amazon in New York, right? And so Amazon, basically, because of all of the issues, said, we're not going to go down that road. Why? Because they have experience of going down a very difficult political road. Seattle has been that way. If you think AOC is a progressive, you haven't been to Seattle yet. Because there are some people in Seattle who will make AOC look like a conservative. And I'm not going to mention names, but they're politicians. I'm not going to mention names. It doesn't matter. But those are facts. And I'm not someone I'm politically neutral. I can care less. There's good and bad in all, and there's some that I like in certain areas and different things, but some of the things that are going on in Seattle is a little bit extreme, okay? And it's not going to work. And I've said this before. When they push them out of New York, I said, I guarantee you they're going to go to Bellevue. They're going to go to Bellevue. And the reason why I said that is because, one, Amazon started in a basement, or actually a garage, in Bellevue, in a house. And for 2, there was grumblings about them talking about doing some things in Bellevue and close to the transit terminal that's there in Bellevue. And Bellevue has really done, when it comes to the city council of Bellevue, you can't say nothing bad about them. I can't. I can't. And I'm being fair. I just can't. And there may be people who live there who will disagree, and they maybe know more, but I have to give credit where credit's due, and I don't know their political leanings, don't care. But they've done a great job. They've created a whole new spring district and all of this different thing. Big companies are there, Facebook, Amazon, Microsoft, you name it. You name it. They're there. And even Alibaba is right there in Bellevue. Bellevue has really and truly, even though it's hoity-toity, and it's going to even be more so, has done a good job. And the fact that they demanded that it be underground is good. Now, traffic there is going to be a nightmare. It's already a nightmare, but it's going to be really bad. But other than that, they've done a really good job in terms of the business community. They're very, I give them an A+ on that, period. I can't give any other city of size here an A+. I can't even give Tacoma an A+, to be honest with you. I can't. But I can give it a better grade than I can Seattle. When New York said no, I knew that they were going to put 25,000 folks in Bellevue. I just knew it. I think a lot of people felt that. They're going to put them somewhere. This whole idea of, Amazon needs people from different areas because there's not enough people here that can fill, there's not enough of a talent pool is a lie. Because you have all of California, and they can easily start plucking people from California, which a lot of people from California come up anyway. They can pluck people from Portland and different parts of Oregon and different areas, right? It's a lie. They were using basically leverage, cities as leverage, and saying that I'm going to go over here and go over there. But really and truly, you just need one base out east. It didn't make sense to have two bases out east. It's kind of silly for DC and New York to be the chosen places. It's silly. And so with DC, they got what they needed. They have a base that they can grow 25,000 people, no problem. They've already went to other cities in the country and added a few thousand jobs there, or planning to do so. New York even snagged a few. And now, Bellevue, which was told a little bit ago, well, we're going to just put a couple of thousand there. Well, that changed to 5,000. That now changed to 10,000. And then that changed to about 15,000. And now, just the other day, it is now going to be 25,000 jobs. In 5 years, between now and 2025, they're going to add a total of 25,000 jobs in Bellevue. And this isn't just speculation. They're building the tallest building in Bellevue. Vulcan has already, and Vulcan's the type of company, the late great Paul Allen owns Vulcan. And Vulcan's not going to build buildings unless there is a sure tenant. They built a lot of Amazon's buildings down in South Lake Union, and they built a lot of Bellevue up. Bellevue looks like a miniature Seattle. And it is at a pretty fast clip. I mean, we're talking several buildings just springing up. We're talking buildings of size. And so when they started working on these buildings, because first Vulcan said, well, we're not going to do anything unless there's a commitment, and then all of a sudden their cranes are going up and they're digging dirt, people are like, yep, that's Amazon. But they didn't know how many. I always assumed that it was going to be the 25,000 because, again, like I said, once you do what Seattle has done in terms of taxes, this is exactly what's going to happen to the people, some of the people that are there. A lot of the businesses have done this, is this. They're going to vote with their feet. And you now have a situation where, will Amazon keep a presence in Seattle? Yes, I think that they will. And I've said that before. I think that, one, no one knows where the hell Bellevue is. Or Tacoma, really. Tacoma more so than Bellevue, the people know about, but they don't really know where Bellevue is. But to say that this is a Seattle-based company, which would be true, they can still keep their main headquarters in Seattle. It may not have a lot of people in it, but they can keep their main headquarters here. And a lot of the folks in Seattle, some of the folks there are delusioned because they think that Amazon owns all of the buildings that you see down there, and that's just not true. Vulcan owns a lot of those buildings as well as other developers, and Amazon pays a lease. And if you're Amazon and Vulcan, which has built a lot of the buildings, they could easily say, hey, you put this building over here, we'll lease that. We'll lease these for a certain term, and then we'll lease those. They can work out whatever deal they want. Vulcan knows they're going to get money. Right? They know they're going to get money. The buildings that Amazon has built, that they put their own money into to build, yeah, do I think that they're going to occupy those? Sure. Do I think that Amazon will keep a lot of its employees remote? No. I think that they like the concept of having employees. But also Amazon, Jeff Bezos, likes to have a small team of people. The two pizza mentality. If I can feed people off of two pizzas as a team, that's the best thing. Right? So I don't think it's just Bellevue. I think you're going to start seeing things spring up in different areas. Now, we already know Redmond is getting a lot of folks. There's been grumblings about Tacoma, possibly. But it wouldn't surprise me if you don't see Amazon making its presence in other places. From Everett all the way over to Redmond, Bellevue, obviously, Tacoma, even Olympia. It wouldn't surprise me to see a few folks here. And a lot of the folks in Seattle are a little concerned because now you're starting to see this shift. You're starting to see the shift. You're starting to see folks a little concerned because this whole payroll tax thing is pretty much targeting Amazon. And it's not a good idea. It isn't. Amazon, by the way, told Bellevue, hey, look, we're coming to Bellevue. Bellevue was like, okay, here's the open door right here. All you gotta do is just walk through. And so Amazon said, here, I'm gonna hand you a check right now for $1 million. Just cause. Just cause. And so the city of Bellevue not only didn't have to pay any tax subsidies or give anything to Amazon, they got 25,000 employees, which will happen there. But they also got $1 million check. Now, are there some downsides to this? Yes. You're going to have extreme traffic issues. They're going to be worse than what they are. The light rail system's not going to fix that. It's not going to fix that. It's going to elevate the housing costs. The housing costs there are much more than what they are in Seattle. So the housing costs are going to be astronomical. But do I think that Amazon is going to... Hold on a second. Hold on one second. All right, had a package delivered, and so I was also telling Noelle, because she's getting close to the house, in the video before you get here. I want people to know where we live. But, so I was trying to do several things at once, and then we got a package from Amazon, ironically, right? So, do I think that Seattle has something to be concerned with? Yeah, I do. Because why would a company, and people say he's got millions of dollars or billions of dollars, he's worth $200 billion, and Amazon's this, a trillion or $2 trillion company, and they can pay whatever they want. But why would you? I could have lived in Seattle. I can't now, but I could have bought a house 3 years ago in Seattle, in a place that I would like. But why would I want to spend that type of money when I can go down to Tacoma and not spend that type of money and get much more of a yard? You see what I'm saying? I know the taxes are going to be an issue there. I know that. So the whole concept that could he afford it? Yeah. Amazon could afford it. It's no problem. But why would they want to? When there's other options. Like, there's other options. It's not just Seattle that is kind of like this island and everything's 1,000 miles away. No, like, literally there's a bridge that can take you right over to Bellevue. And not only that, they're building a light rail system that can take you right over there. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's not... And then you also have Redmond, not far away. Microsoft, the headquarters of Microsoft is right there. The whole start of the expense issue in terms of houses and why that part of the city or part of the region is super wealthy and houses are expensive is due in part to Amazon. Amazon launched a lot of millionaires. I mean, there's a lot of way before Amazon was even thought of. Microsoft was pushing out a lot of millionaires. Now what people don't know is Jeff Bezos is from Albuquerque, New Mexico. That's where he's from. And Bill Gates started Microsoft in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Then he moved it up here, and it became a big success, right? And it's ironic that they don't do much with Albuquerque, but that's beside the point. But the reason why you you have this dichotomy is that all of that money is up there, right? It's expensive. And you're not going to get a lot of people who are willing, even those who work at Amazon, willing to pay the price. People are saying, soon it's going to be so expensive people can't afford to live in Bellevue. It's always been expensive for a while. It's going to get even more expensive. And not only there, most of the east side of the city is going to be expensive. Now, what does that do? One, Bellevue is a small city. Doesn't have the capacity for roads and schools and everything else when you're talking about big numbers. Not everybody's going to move there. A lot of people are still going to commute whenever we're able to commute. But, I mean, it's going to feel the pinch. Other cities are going to feel the pinch. Tacoma is a good example because you can easily get from Tacoma all the way to downtown Seattle, and then from Seattle you can take the train over to Bellevue. It's a long day, but it's still not impossible. Tacoma has again another advantage because it's affordable. One of the good things is that we are able to move and roll with the punches. We're diversifying our economy, and so we're not just reliant on the tech industry like Seattle and Bellevue are. But do I think that Seattle is going to be facing some issues with Amazon soon? Yes. And again, I even said in the next 3 years, you will see Amazon down here in Tacoma. 3 to 5 years short. You'll see them down here in some capacity in Tacoma. But, yeah, I think that Seattle made a big blunder. I think that the city council just made a horrible deal with this income tax. So we're starting to see now that come to fruition that Amazon's going to peel away. Now the question is, are they adding 25,000 new jobs there, or are they pulling 25,000 positions from Seattle and putting it in Bellevue? That I don't know. And it could be that they're pulling the 25,000, cutting their workforce in Seattle in half, and just pushing them over across the lake. Anyhow, we'll see what happens. Make sure you join our Discord. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I will see you. Take care.